Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Last week, Smackdown saw Roman Reigns rig the system so he has to face Adam Pearce at the Royal Rumble, but the Tribal Chief upset a lot of people in the process. What will be the ramifications on tonight's edition of the Blue Brand? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 15th January episode of Smackdown, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including Michelle McCool is diagnosed with COVID, Sasha Banks wants an intergender match, Renee Paquette talks working with AEW, and more. As always, Wrestlelamia won't recap the show, but provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Covering all the bases. Tonight's Smackdown exemplified everything that makes a wrestling program entertaining from start to finish, with overarching storylines, good matches, wrestler development, and surprises to keep fans interested throughout the show and for next week's show. Whether it was the storyline of Roman Reigns trying to impose his will on the SmackDown roster, and even WWE official Adam Pearce, Shinsuke Nakamura getting revenge on Jey Uso for costing him a title shot last week, Bayley setting up a gauntlet for Bianca Belair to get a chance to wrestle her, Cesaro's big win, or minor points like Billy Kay costing the Riot Squad a match, or Paul Heyman hinting at an alliance with Apollo Crews if Crews can improve his work, SmackDown began and developed several storylines, and interesting ones at that. Add in some fantastic matches, which should never be an issue considering WWE's talented roster, and SmackDown did everything it was supposed to do, and more. Nakamura's OG theme is back. Shinsuke Nakamura's OG theme is back, which is the right move considering it looks like the King of Strong Style is back as a babyface. While it's a change with Nakamura's packaging, it's a subtle hint of his new direction, and it looks as if he's getting a push to go with his new direction. While it would be nothing short of a miracle for Shinsuke to win the Royal Rumble, his career will benefit if he plays the Iron Man role in the Men's Rumble, lasting a long time before he's finally eliminated. Superman strikes. Speaking of pushes, could fans be seeing a push for wrestling's Swiss Superman Cesaro? Cesaro is a big man who has always had the look the WWE likes, as well as an abundance of talent that makes it criminal that he's been relegated to a tag team role or one where he puts singles wrestlers over. Rumor has it the WWE's creative team suggested to Vinnie Mac that Cesaro is a wrestler who might boost ratings. While you can never put too much faith in rumors, especially when it concerns the ever-mercurial McMahon, a Cesaro push could transform him into an upper-card star who could even break into the main event by the summer. Daniel Bryan putting over talent. Regardless of whether or not Cesaro gets a big push, major props to Daniel Bryan, who put the Swiss Superman over with a big win. As Bryan sees his career winding down, he's made it clear he intends to use his main event slot to help other wrestlers get over, and he's been doing just that, as seen tonight with counting the lights for Cesaro, and last week when he put Shinsuke Nakamura over clean. The only caveat here is that the WWE needs to push some of the wrestlers Bryan puts over, or it risks diminishing Bryan's status as a top performer. Obviously, the WWE also needs to have Bryan win some key matches as well in order to keep fans thinking of him as a main event player. Captivating cameras. Kudos to the WWE for adding a powerful new weapon to its TV arsenal. The WWE has always been known for its world-class production values as well as innovative television concepts like the Thunderdome. With WWE TV shows more important than ever, it's crucial for the WWE to do whatever it can to make its shows look good, as seen when its move to the Performance Center led to lower ratings, partly because the shows looked low rent. Now the WWE is utilizing the same cameras that the NFL does, and it shows, with the superstar entrances looking sharper than ever, and SmackDown looking better than ever. Naturally, it's the in-ring product and accompanying storylines that make a wrestling program entertaining, but strong aesthetics never hurt. The implementation of the new cameras couldn't come at a better time now that WWE is on the road to WrestleMania. Roman gets played. Things were looking good for Universal Champion Roman Reigns after the Tribal Chief manipulated WWE official Adam Pearce into booking a gauntlet match to determine the #1 contender for the Universal title, and then making sure the retired wrestler Pearce not only entered the match, but won it. This week, Reigns was as arrogant as ever, deciding to strong-arm Pearce into a last man standing match. However, in true heel fashion, Reigns got a bit too overconfident as Pearce signed the contract, only to reveal he'd suddenly developed a knee injury which would keep him out of the match. Not to worry though, as Pierce reminded Reigns as a WWE official he could find a suitable replacement, Reigns' persistent foe Kevin Owens. This was a clever way for WWE to take Pierce out of a match no one wanted to see, make Pierce look smart, and give Reigns a bit of comeuppance for brazenly breaking the rules during his title run. The bad. Please let it end. Kevin Owens vs. Roman Reigns has been an entertaining program despite the WWE repeatedly booking the same ending for their matches, that is, outside interference by Jey Uso. However, it's time to end this feud as this is the third major match between KO and Roman, and it's time for the Universal Champion to move on to a new opponent, particularly with WrestleMania drawing nearer. KO has looked strong despite dropping 2 matches to the Tribal Chief, and while it's all but certain he'll lose again, WrestleLamia is hopeful the WWE will find a way for Reigns to win that doesn't involve outside interference. Please let it end, Part 2. Despite some excellent storylines, SmackDown is fixated on a bad storyline. That of Carmella chasing Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship despite the boss successfully defending the belt more than once and Carmella showing no proof in the ring that she's ready for the main event. WrestleLamia has repeatedly questioned why WWE is booking Carmella against Sasha Banks. If the WWE thinks the blue brand has no one else for Banks to wrestle other than Bianca Belair or Bayley, and if so it's due to the WWE's terrible job building its women, why not call up some of NXT's female talent? The Downright ugly. Nothing ugly about tonight's show, and with the Royal Rumble just 2 weeks away, WWE is wisely shifting gears to get ready for the build-up to Mania. Tonight's show was entertaining and even built suspense for next week's show. And now, your news. Michelle McCool diagnosed with COVID. Add former WWE Women's Champion and Divas Champion Michelle McCool to the list of WWE alumni who have tested positive for the coronavirus. McCool, who is married to The Undertaker, posted an update via Instagram on her condition. Word round here seems to spread as quickly as this virus, so thank you to all who have checked on me. Not trying to hide it, just been too tired to post. What I thought were my allergies turned out to be a positive COVID test earlier this week. No clue how or where I caught it. Blessed to have mild symptoms. Super blessed I'm the only one in our home who has it. And super blessed to have a daughter who made an 8-foot-long COVID communication telephone. I'd give anything to hug and love on her right now. Y'all stay safe and healthy. WrestleLamia wishes Michelle and everyone else dealing with the coronavirus a fast and full recovery. Sasha Banks wrestling an intergender match. Sasha Banks has been kicking ass and taking names, whether it's her current reign as SmackDown Women's Champion, her role in Disney Plus's The Mandalorian, or her rumored fashion and makeup channel on YouTube. Now it appears Banks has another goal, intergender wrestling. Is the boss going the route of Tessa Blanchard in challenging the Tribal Chief for the Universal Championship? Not quite. Recently, Sasha Banks confronted Carmella and Mella's sommelier Reginald backstage, telling Reginald, "Tell your girl she can have her title match as long as I can have you in a match first." As lackluster as the Carmella vs. Sasha feud has been, this can't make things any worse, or can it? Renee Paquette talks working with AEW. Is Renee Paquette, who worked in WWE as announcer Renee Young, going to work in AEW where her husband Jon Moxley just happens to work? If so, it doesn't seem to be a priority for Renee, who chatted with Chris Van Vliet about the possibility. That's the thing too. If you look at AEW and everything they're doing, it's fantastic. I'm not saying I wouldn't do something there. I for sure would if the right thing came up, but it's not the thing that I'm chasing down. I think my time in WWE was so great, and my time in wrestling has been so great, but I don't want that to be the only thing I do. I don't want to pigeonhole myself as just being the wrestling girl. Would you like to see Renee Paquette work in AEW? Let us know in the comments below. Update on AEW moving out of Daly's Place. Last but not least, it appears AEW isn't leaving its current wrestling home at Daly's Place Arena anytime soon. In an exclusive story, Bodyslam.net's Cassidy Haynes is reporting, employees received an email this morning informing them that they will be remaining in Jacksonville for the indefinite future. This seemingly eliminates any potential move to Miami for the upcoming Beach Break special episode of Dynamite and any other events that AEW had previously been working on moving to South Beach. AEW had talked about moving, but its recent announcement that its 24th February Dynamite has been rescheduled suggests Tony Khan is waiting to see how things play out with the pandemic. Well guys, there you have it, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the 15th January Smackdown, along with the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. What did you think of these stories and rumors? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.